What's going on? This is Ryan with Automatic Comics, and up next, got another huge CGC unboxing here. This is a fast track economy submission. Again, some really cool books. I have not checked the grades, so I've got my little, like sheet here with my grade estimates on it, and we'll go through these and see how I did. Let's check these out. So before we get started, please remember to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this. So 24 books in this box, and what I'm going to do is I'll go through 12 of them in this video, and then I'll do a separate video and I'll do 12 of them for that, because with 24 it's just too many books for one video. I am a little nervous about some of these because some of the books that I've had, a couple of books that I've had issues with the grades on, it ends up it's from tanning, and it seems like CGC has been hitting tanning hard lately. So I've got a couple books in here that I'm worried about the tanning. So we'll see. Actually, I'm thinking of making a separate video about tanning and how that's being graded recently. But yeah, let's get into this big box here. I'm going to flip it upside down. There we go. So that I don't look at the grades anyway. So if you haven't watched one of these before, I haven't checked the grades. And so I'll talk about the book. I'll bring it down from the top so I can't see it, and then I'll reveal the grade at the same time that you see it. And so we can see how everything went. But yeah, the tanning has definitely been an issue. And I've talked to a few people about it, and seems like it's kind of a general consensus that tanning is getting hit a little bit harder lately. And it's like, if you look at your grader's notes, if it's moderate tanning, you're I think, what's the highest I've seen with it? Maybe around a 6.5, something like that. Light tanning, you can get really high grades. You can get into the 9s, but the moderate tanning, it seems like it's getting hit kind of hard. So I'm just gonna pull from one end of this, and we'll I don't know exactly which book I'm gonna get out here, and we'll start checking these out. So the first book up. All right, so this is Special Marvel Edition 15. I bought this one raw off eBay, maybe well before the hype or the comic boom. It was like early 2020 or something like that. I had this one at a 7.5. Let's see how we did. Man, 9.0. Awesome. Hopefully it continues like this. I mean, the other thing is, you just got to remember, sometimes the reason I get these nice kind of surprises is that I'm grading them before they're pressed, and I'm estimating what can get cleaned up. And sometimes they turn out better than I expect them to. And so if you're wondering about the presser, I use the comic book presser. I'll put his information in the details, the description to the video. But yeah, I mean, there's a few little spine ticks. I mean, I think things cleaned up pretty well. I mean, you can see, and I always talk about this. There's, people think you can't have spine ticks in 9s, and you can. But, a couple little spine ticks there, one here, and then there's a little, wear on the top edge. I was a little worried. I wasn't sure what the pen was going to do. I remember that. I wasn't sure what the pen was going to do. But yeah, man, I don't know why I hit it so hard. I mean, yeah, it's like, maybe if I graded it now, I would still think maybe an 8.5. So I think a 9 is a little strong of a grade, but I'm not going to complain about it, obviously. But yeah, no. 9.0, awesome. Definitely a book that has come down a lot. This book has really taken a beating since the comic boom, and so I'm not sure how. We'll see when they bring that character back into some more MCU properties. I'm kind of surprised they haven't used him more already, but we'll see if that helps the values on those books a little bit. All right, this one I was excited about. This is a cool book. So this is Hulk Annual #1, awesome Steranko cover, and it's you can see you got the Hulk mustache right there, which I always think is pretty funny. The Tom Selleck mustache on the Hulk, but love this cover. Let's see, where did I have this one? I had this one at a 7 to a 7.5. Oh man, 8.5. I am just undergrading, it seems, on this one. So I'll tell you, one of the reasons I was really worried about this book was that really early on in my channel, one of the first videos I did, I bought this book raw off eBay for like $75, something like that. I'm going to be very careful about opening this. I am very nervous about this one. So I'm glad that I am taking you can see I'm taking my time with it, and because if you can, well, you can't see, but it looks like it is just straight inside of this cardboard with no bag. So all right. I speed this up again because I'm gonna have to figure out how I want to get this up. It is how it's in here. Okay, so this isn't the worst packing job I've ever had, but this is close. So just note, if you are shipping something, go check out my shipping video. I will link it link it to this, because you can see here, this is just straight in the cardboard. There's no bag, there's no board. This is not great, but luckily it wasn't a high grade copy. Yeah, just note, this is not how you should ship a comic book, especially a Silver Age comic book. So this is Hulk Annual #1, and they shipped it in a, what was it? It was in, I think, a bubble mailer, and I think there were 2 pieces of cardboard, but the book was just straight in there. There was no bag, no board, like, you know, anything like that protecting the book from shifting around. Still got an 8.5. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's a really nice book. One thing I think I hit this book for something that I've learned is, I think it's almost like a manufacturing defect, because you see it on almost every single one. This little nick up here, I see that on basically every single copy of this book. And so I think, you know, that being probably a manufacturing defect, it causes it to not really hurt the book, hurt the grade. But man, and one thing I really like about this one, it has this purple date stamp that matches, you know, the cover. But wow, 8.5. I am obviously very happy about that. I don't even know what an 8.5 goes for now. 500, 600 bucks, something like that. But yeah, definitely, yeah, it's square bound, Strenko cover, awesome cover. Real happy with this. But yeah, if you're not familiar with this one, so Strenko originally drew his face, and they said it was like too grotesque or violent or something, and so Marie Severin redrew the face, and so you've got, that's where the Tom Selleck mustache comes from. All right, I would like to continue this trend of being off by like a grade low. Hopefully not. I don't get some in the opposite direction, but that's always possible. All right, next one. Oh, okay. So this is a cool book. This is Josie and the Pussycats #45, first appearance of Josie and the Pussycats. This is a book that this is one I was nervous about how it might get graded, because this one has a couple pretty big printer creases on it. And so I said a 6 to a 6.5, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did better. I'm just always concerned that I'm going to catch a grader that isn't going to know what printer creases are, and then hits you for printer creases and says that they're, you know, damage to the book. And so, because this is a really nice copy of this book, I would not be surprised if it did better than that. Just depending, to me, it's kind of like depending on the grader. I'm just always worried I'm going to catch a grader that doesn't know what printer creases are. Yeah, 7.0. Okay, awesome. Oh, and white pages. Nice. That's a huge plus too. So this is, I mean, it's Silver Age 1969, and I want to show you those printer creases. So this is what I'm talking about right here. And I had somebody ask, like, how do you know that it's a printer crease? And my response was, you know it when you see it. You know, and it's like, if you look online for examples, you know what I mean. It's like they aren't ever like straight creases, things like that. They have a really unique look to them. They look like the paper is folded over itself. And the main flaw on this book really is this little crease down in the corner here. But yeah, I think the printer creases are on the back too. Can't remember. Yeah, I don't see them offhand, but there's the back cover. Yeah, 7-0 white pages. First appearance of Josie and the Pussycats. First appearance of Valerie Smith. And this is where the title changed to Josie and the Pussycats. So yep, awesome book. I bought this one off Instagram, like, again, like right when I got on Instagram, like one of the first months, so probably 2.5 years ago or something like that. Yeah, real happy with that, because that's definitely a book that's gotten more pricey over the last couple of years too. I like those Archie books. All right, next. Okay, this is a fun one too. So this is Marvel Superheroes number 20, arguably the best Doom cover that has ever been done. This is an awesome book. So this is one where this was part of a lot on Heritage that I bought maybe like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. It was like 15 books from this run. And the only book I wanted from that run was this one, because I think they had it as a VF. I think they had it as an 8.0. I graded it as a 6.57. And you know, it's a nice copy. It's just got like, I'm getting some, there's a little wear down in the corner, a little color rub. You can see like a little bit of, you know, stuff going on down here. But in general, a very clean copy of this book, because this book always has spine splits. But like I said, 6.57, 7.5, awesome. So Heritage said it was an 8.0, I said it was a 6.57, and ends up at a 7.5. So pretty happy with that, especially because this book has gotten pricier since then. I think this now covers the entire lot that I purchased. The only thing I was a little worried about was, see, there's this little piece right here that was a little loose, and I was just worried it might come off like during pressing or during grading, and then that might hit the grade a little more. But yeah, super nice presenting copy of this book. Very, you know, no real like creases or anything that detract from it. You've got a little bit of wear, like I said, down in the corner, on the bottom edge, but I think no spine splitting on this one. Yeah, no spine splitting on this one. Super nice. But yeah, I mean, just my favorite Doom cover. I think it's the best Doom cover that's out there. All right, so that's 5. Move on to number 6. All right. Okay, this is one of the books I'm nervous about. This one had a lot of tanning. I had it as a 6.5 to a 7, but after I've seen how tanning has been getting graded, I would not be surprised if this one ends up lower than that. I mean, you can see the tanning on his hand on the bottom here already. You can see it through the cover. So let's see how we did. 6.5. Okay, I'll take that. I will take the lower end of that range, you know, because of that tanning. And that's, I'd be interested. I'll have to check what they put on here if they said this was moderate tanning. Because then I think that's where I get that like top end at 6.5, because this is a really, really nice copy. This is a very clean presenting copy of this book that otherwise you would not say that this book was a 6.5 at all. But with the tanning that's on this book, that's why that's this browning around the edges. And I've seen them hitting, because I used to have, like, I would have books with worse tanning than this that would get in the 7s easy. And it just doesn't seem like you can anymore. You know, if you've got tanning like that, I'm not seeing books get into the 7s. And yeah, it's making me, like, anytime I hear somebody like on a claim sale or whatever, like, oh, it has tanning, I'm like, oof. You know, I'm like, all right, I'm instantly being conservative on that grade. And so just something to think about with the tanning. So yeah, that is about the top end that I've seen with that kind of tanning. All right. Let's see what's next. All right, what are you? Okay, this is a cool one. I think this is is this Haunted Thrills number 12? I think that's what this is. Let's see if I can. I just don't want to reveal the grade. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe it's not on the cover. Yeah, it's not on the cover. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is Haunted Thrills number 12. I don't think I have another issue from Haunted Thrills. I just bought this one because I thought it had a lot of cool elements on it. So when I'm talking about pre-code horror, I like looking for books that have multiple horror elements on them that people like to collect. And this one has, you know, it's got the witch, it's got kind of like the attractive woman on the front, and she's in the red dress. and you've got a skull. You know, you've got the skull in this, you know, crystal ball that's on there. So I thought that this was a, you know, just a cool book. I had it as a 5 to a 5.5. 6.0. Nice. Yeah, that's great. I'm real happy with that. So there's the back cover, front cover. 6.0 has got to be a pretty nice, pretty solid grade for this book. If I remember correctly, the census is, there's not a lot of high grade copies, I don't think, of this one. But yeah, I'm real happy with that. 6.0 for 1953. You know, Haunted Thrills. Yeah, and it's Haunted Thrills number 12. Yeah, yeah, and there isn't anything on the cover that identifies the number. It's one of these where you have to check the interior, have to check an inside page. But yeah, awesome. So that's all right. So far, it's been pretty happy with what I've been getting. All right, what are you? Okay, this is Hawk number 9, I believe. Let me see. Hawk and number 9. Yes. Okay, so in my prior unboxing, I had, I think it was like Texan number 9 or something like that. These are these Western covers that Matt Baker is known for doing. And so Matt Baker is generally best known in the Golden Age for good girl art. He's like the good girl art cover artist. You know, he did Phantom Lady 17, which sold for what was like 456,000 or something like that. You know, the most expensive non-hero Golden Age book. And so this is the Western themed stuff, you know, definitely isn't nearly as popular, but you never know. As the Matt Baker books and the other genres get more and more expensive, people might transition to things like the Western books, things that are a little more affordable. But I had this one at a 3.5. 4.5. Yeah, I'm like a full grade off on like everything right now. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I don't know why I gave it a 3.5. It looks really nice. I mean, I wonder if there's something that just I didn't think would clean up in pressing that did. Because yeah, I mean, like the spine looks really nice. There's a very definitive dust shadow here that you can see. It's not tape or anything, but spine looks nice. Staples are attached. There's no big flaws. Yeah, I don't know why I gave it a 3.5. Because yeah, after like seeing it pressed, I wouldn't give it a 3.5. So that's one of those things where sometimes it's tough when you have a book that you're trying to guess what it's going to do post pressing. And you know, so far these I've been, I guess I just underestimating them a little bit. All right, so this is Fantastic Four 66. I had this one at an 8 to an 8.5. See how we did. This is the like first cameo, not even cameo of him. This is the what would you call it? It's like a cameo of him. You don't, or of Adam Warlock. You don't even see him. Oh, whoa! What is with that? I think the bottom staples popped. I know that wasn't popped. I did a grading video on this book. And there's a piece missing here. I'm almost positive that piece wasn't missing. This was like a high grade copy. I'm gonna have to go back and check my grading video. I don't know what's going on with this one. I'm gonna have to go back and check my video. I am definitely gonna go back and check my grading video on this one. I don't remember a piece missing there. I don't remember that at all. I don't know. I'm definitely gonna go back and check that video. Because, yeah, something doesn't feel right about this book. Like, I'd never give a book an 8 or an 8.5 with a piece missing out of the spine like that. Never. And definitely not with a pop staple. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go check that one out. Oh, that, I don't know what's going on with that book. That, something isn't right with that book. I know I know I filmed a grading video for that one. I'm gonna have to figure out which one it was. I'll have to go back and find it. All right, let's move on to the next one. What is this? Oh, okay. This is Fantastic Four Annual number 5. And this is another one that I think it could get better than what I estimated it as. I had it as a 7.0, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did a little better. I thought this one was really nice, but I don't grade square bounds all that often, and I feel like I hit them a little harder than I probably should, and that's why my experience has been like square bounds. I end up generally getting better grades than I estimate, and so I think I hit them a little harder for some of the wear that can sometimes be along that spine that CGC just doesn't seem to hit quite as hard. Now, the big thing with this one is this is the first appearance of Psycho Man, this guy here, and I've been speculating that we're going to potentially see him in the Ant-Man movie. He usually has ties to Kang and the microverse and that kind of stuff, so I thought maybe we'd see him in the Ant-Man movie. I picked up this one raw. I bought this one raw in Heritage. I think they graded this at a 7, but let's see how we did. Whew, 8.5 and white pages. Both undergraded it then. Nice. Yeah, oh man, that is great. I don't know why I hit these square bounds so hard. Yeah, I mean, like, there's some wear on the spine that, maybe let's see if it'll come, I don't know if it'll come through on camera. Try to get it to, yeah, it doesn't really come through on camera. But, there's just like some indentations and stuff like right around here. Yeah, it doesn't come through at all, but I guess that's what I was hitting it for probably. Wow, yeah, 8.5. That is great. I am super happy with that. White pages, awesome. Man. All right, makes up for that, because I know I paid a lot for that Fantastic Four 66 because I was expecting a high grade. I know like with that, I lose like $200 or $300, I think. I mean, it's maybe like 100 or something, or 125, but yeah, I'm still a little frustrated about that one. Okay, I don't know which one this is. I have 2 copies of Ghost Rider number 1 in here. Let's see if I can tell. This has got to be the lower grade copy. All right. So I had this one at a 4.5 to a 5. This is the 1967 version of Ghost Rider. Let's see how we did. 6.0. Man, I'm like a grade off on everything this video. Like, I've been like really on point with my other ones, and I'm like a grade off on like everything with this one. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely happy with it. So yeah, 6.0 off-white pages, 1967 version of Ghost Rider. This is when it's kind of like more of like a Western. But yeah, it's a tough book. The other one is nicer. So I'll be interested to see what that other one comes back as, because it is a tough book to get in these like little better grades, just because obviously all the black doesn't hide anything. One more. All right. Let's see if we can end on a positive or a negative note here. That's the other Ghost Rider. All right. So I had the other one at a 7 to a 7.5. It's definitely a nicer copy. I don't need to, talk about the character or anything again. And this is 7.5 and white pages. Awesome. Yeah. So, I mean, you can definitely see it's always, I think it's interesting or helpful to have 2 books next to each other. So like, here's the 7.0, let's take a look at the wear, or sorry, the 7.5. Take a look at the wear on this one. A little bit on that top corner. And there's definitely some spine ticks and that kind of thing. There's that little bit of wear on the bottom edge. That corner is real nice. That edge is really nice. So in general, it's a pretty clean book. And then this one at a 6.0. Let's take a look at the difference. It's got that same kind of like wear here, but it's a little worse. Just along the top edge, it's more general wear. And you can just see just a little more roughness along the spine there. and definitely some more wear down in the corner. So it's just, yeah, I mean, when you see them next to each other, you go, yes, that 7.5 is definitely better than the 6.0. I mean, it's very obvious. This is kind of a little easier to assess because it's really just surface wear like that. I don't think there's any staining. Oh, there's a little stain, just a tiny one right here. Little stain right there on this one. But yeah, Ghost Rider, #1, 1967. Last book for this one. So I've got the other set of books that are in there. I'm gonna stop here. I'll cut this and then we'll film the remainder of the books from this box. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this. I've got more videos over here if you'd like to watch some of my other videos, and the subscription button right here. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video.